Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is where you are. Lovely, lovely to see you all. And my dear Lord, it is warm and sticky today. We are hitting a heat wave. I'm assuming it's hitting a large part of Europe. It doesn't seem to be hitting Australia. Well, I suppose it's coming up to your winter now, isn't it, really? But yes, it's currently around 23 degrees already. And as a slightly chunkier fellow, that is about 10 degrees warmer than I am comfortable with. So it's going to be a very, very sticky day. Now, what is everyone doing? I mean, we don't want to talk about sticky days this early in the day. You guys can get as sticky as you like later. Who am I to judge, right? What am I talking about? It's lovely. Let's welcome some people in, and I'll stop whittering on because we have the glorious Crudmo here. We've got Johnson in. We've got Lestry as well. It is lovely to see you all, chaps. Sipanak is in. We've got RJ. We've got Max as well. Max are off. So it's an over 32s non-league match on 7 p.m. on a Friday evening. Sounds fabulous. Sounds brilliant. We've got Rick from Holland in. We've got GNG in, and it's great to hear that you're feeling a little bit better. GNG has been a little under the weather, so it's good. I think we should all wish him well. We do have someone else that I've missed, Kai. We've got Kai in as well. Lovely to see you, Kai. How you doing, sir? Now, we've got some early suggestions for the H-Goat. I know that all of you know what this is about, but for the sake of anyone that might be lurking that hasn't been here before, every stream, we vote on the greatest player with a different letter of the alphabet. So we've done A through to G, and on the last stream, we voted Gudrincha in as the greatest player with the letter G. Today, we're looking for H, and that means their surname begins with H, or in the case of like Brazilian players and those that run under mononyms, the name they have on their shirt. And straight off the bat, RJ, the most patriotic Belgian there is, comes out with Eden Hazard. That's going to be a tough one to beat. And then the Finn quite rightly comes through with Sami Hyypiä. You must have been waiting a long time, Johnson, to finally have a Finn to put forwards, and it's a very, very fine one, that's for sure. Now, Cromwell has gone for Hidakuti, which understandably is a very, very on-brand suggestion for Cromwell. He does love his retro players, and there are few more retro there. So Eden is one of the top gardens. Very, very true. The Eden project is a fine thing. Oh, what is this shirt? What is this shirt? What is this 1982 European Cup final shirt? It's nothing, right? I am going to be as magnanimous as I possibly can be in victory. On Wednesday evening, I was smiling from ear to ear. I may have struggled to sleep that evening, but, you know, I appreciate that we've got a lot of people that haven't been in a position to even come close to winning big trophies. Villa haven't for a very, very long time. No need to gloat. Might be some gloating. Now, Lestry, always a star at championing the greatest women's footballers, and Mia Hamm absolutely belongs in that conversation. Although you have now got people thinking about food, which is fair enough. Kwan's in. Welcome in, Kwan. Lovely to see you, my dude. How's everything going? Is it as warm for you as it is for us? I mean, you can handle it, though. That's the difference, right? Could we go for a little bit of Ari Hahn as well? We could indeed. Let's pop Ari Hahn down on the list. Beautiful suggestion there. Tipanak is going to join Team Hupia. Whilst Ian Hart is a surprise mention. Leeds' finest left back for sure. Eunice, welcome in, by the way, comes in, suggests Thierry Henry. I am very surprised it took you guys so long to get to Thierry Henry. Each go to someone from Train Spotting. A fair point. John said it is finally one who has a realistic shot at this, indeed. There's a couple of others. I'm hoping to see a little bit of Pojan Parlo for Letter P at least. Thierry Henry is very popular in Ireland. Grizzly P correctly has suggested that Georgie Hadji is the one. I mean, maybe not the one, but he certainly deserves to be amongst the ones. Welcome in, Medical Car. Lovely to see you. Welcome in, the GOAT 5375. We're voting for you, the GOAT. Well, specifically for the letter H versions of yourself. I'm glad to hear that you enjoy the videos. It's lovely to have you in. Nobody has said Haaland yet until you said Haaland. Haaland is, there we go. Artemsia, I will definitely agree that John McGinn belongs on there, as does Morgan Rogers. I'll throw in some older Villa players as well that I'm still so fond of. Ian Hatela and one Pablo Hongel all deserve to be in this list. Could we have a little bit of Mats Hummels? We could indeed have a little bit of Mats Hummels. I think I quite like dipping pita bread into some Mats Hummels. Eden Hazard, Max, that's the second vote for Eden Hazard. A fine shout. Kwan, even the rain is warm. See, that's disgraceful. Disgraceful. Welcoming Callum. No worries. Lovely to have you lurking, my dude. Leeds' finest left back. I won't hear such shame on Tony Dorigo's name. I think there's only one way to settle that, really. I think we should organise a fight between Ian Hart and Tony Dorigo. Both feel like real proper Merlin sticker kind of players. The kind of players that you would get 17 copies of in your sticker book, and actually you wouldn't really care much about them whatsoever. Could we have a little bit of Jordan Henderson? I mean, Jordan Henderson has been repeatedly picked by some of the finest coaches throughout his career. As much as people knock on him, you can't deny that he might actually be quite a good player. That's a fair question, Crudmo. Do we want Erling or Ulfie Inga Haaland? I was assuming it was going to be Erling, but RJ says yes, he wants both Haalands. So let's see which ones pick up. Does Xavi Hernandez count? Sadly, he doesn't. So Eunice, where a player would have a mononym on their shirt, such as Xavi would, Xavi will count as X for Xavi. But Huntelaar, Klaas Jan Huntelaar. Did Huntelaar have Huntelaar on his back, or he did have Huntelaar on his back? As did Hulk and Hartson. Fabulous suggestions coming in. And then we've got a little bit of Joe Hart from Alpha. Welcome in, Alpha. We've got a little bit of Tim Howard. The goalkeeper's coming in now. And a bit of Didi Hamann. Obviously, I love a little bit of Didi Hamann. An absolutely disgusting player. I mean, he was dirty as hell, but such a fun, like the way he struck the ball. So many absolute bangers. Right, let's catch you up with where we are in the save. Because I will be honest with you guys, I think it's going to be a relatively short stream. Might be sort of around the 2-hour mark today because of the heat. Where I live currently, the air circulation isn't great, so I've got a few fans already full blast on me at the moment, and I have a feeling that it might start to get just a little bit too warm as we start to hit like that 1 o'clock point where the sun is at its highest, right? So let's catch up with where we are. So I've obviously played a little bit off stream, but the very first and most important bit of information is that we've got a new contract. The board came to us, we were on €400 per week, and they said, we want to pay you €400 a week. We want to give you a promotion wage increase, and we want to give you a relegation drop. And I said, no. We are all equal here at Brønshøj. Every single player earns €380 a week. They have zero bonuses whatsoever. They have a contract extension clause, and they have match highest earner. I can't put match highest earner on as a manager, but I could bring the wages down. I could get ourselves a contract extension after promotion as well. So we've got a new contract and we're finally on an equal standing with our players, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest news. That news is considerably bigger than us being third in the league. How on earth are we third in the league? It has been quite a little run. So I think we played 4 games on stream last time. It was a couple of wins, a draw and a defeat. And we haven't lost a game since. We've barely scored any goals, but we've barely conceded any at all either. So where we left off was... Actually, no. So I started playing the game against Thisted. And I'll be honest with you, for a little while, we almost got Thisted. They did have a good spell kind of midway through the first half, pulled it back after we took the lead, but we then brought a substitute on, a guy called Rasmus Kierkegaard, who's a new left back I signed off stream because our current left back got injured in the final game that we played, and we panic bought him. Well, he was on an amateur contract, so a free transfer from Brabant, who are also in our division, and he got an assist within the very first minute of being on the pitch. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Then we drew a load of games. We drew against Amager, we drew against Lyngby, but won on penalties in the cup, drew against Hillerod, drew against Vendersill. We finally started to turn things around a little bit. And let me get some more of those players down here. Now, Quadmo's not a fan of Jordan Henderson. Not a fan of Jordan Henderson at all. We've got Bobby Harms as a suggestion as a manager. I do not know anything about Bobby Harms. Tell me about Bobby Harms. Tony Hibbert. We are now appealing to the Everton fans. Don't forget about Hitzelsberger. I'm trying my best not to lead you into specific players, which is why I deliberately avoided Hitzelsberger as an actual genuine Villa player. Oh, the hammer. There's a goal he scored against Portsmouth, right? I remember it so clearly. Standing about 30 yards out, the ball rolls across from his right. I don't think his first touch was quite what he intended, but as he went to kill the ball, it bobbled up a little bit, which put it perfectly on the volley for him to just absolutely smash it like an absolute fucking rocket into the top corner. Oh, I could watch that goal on repeat forever. So Lucas Radetzky, we've got another goalkeeper in there as well, and another Finn. Beautiful. What about a bit of Marek Hamsik? That's a fine suggestion too. Keisuke Honda's a great suggestion. Let's get Honda down there as well. Welcome in, by the way, Blue Lions. Lovely to see you, my dude. Winning 11-3-4 legend Mustafa Hadji. Aston Villa legend Mustafa Hadji. He wasn't. He was rubbish. We signed both Hadji and Cashall, I think possibly. I'm not sure if it's the same window or like a season apart. But they both were a little bit underwhelming. Welcome in, Brown Child. Lovely to see you, my dude. Welcome in, Cultured Left Foot as well. Jeff Hurst. Of course, Jeff Hurst should be on that suggestion list for sure. Pierre Himmel Højbjerg. We'll take it, just as we will George Hurst as well. I mean, I don't know if there are many that are going to be pushing for George Hurst to be the greatest player of all time, but you never know. National loyalties. So RJ says, it's 2 things since you started playing FM again. You can't play with your club, 2, attach to the players, and 2, when creating a tactic, the less the better. That's a fair shout. I mean, I can even kind of point to that here, because for those that aren't familiar, the way that we're playing this save, we can only make tactical changes if we've got coaching qualifications. We have absolutely no coaching qualifications at the moment. Every time I ask the board, they say no, which it doesn't tell me what it was there, but that was us asking for coaching qualification. And so at the moment, we are basing our tactic off what our assistant manager likes. So it's just the default control possession style, and it's a 5-3-2, because that is what our assistant manager, the wonderfully named Ask Victor, has as his favorite approach. Control possession, 5-3-2. So we've essentially done nothing tactically, and we're third in our first season up in the CampoBet 2 division. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Younes, your local team is in 11th. Ishoy have really struggled this season. I mean, as you can see, Ishoy and Brabant there are both cut adrift. I mean, we are third. There's a small little gap between us and Fremad Amateur. Then it's really tightly packed in between 4th and 10th. And then a big 7-point gap to Ishoy and Brabant, 2 points further below. So, I mean, we've got a good chance of making it to the championship group for when the stage is split. But I would almost say, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I think when it splits into a relegation group, I think it's the bottom 2 go down, and the third, it's just the bottom 2 that go down, right? So I think that there's enough of a gap already that we might be safe, which is the most important bit.
Somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle.
Oh, Blue Lions, bless you very much. Thank you for the prime. That is absolutely incredible. You star. It is not the statistics. It is not the statistics. Lestri, I did not sign him for his photo. So I've signed Rasmus Kierkegaard, and he didn't have a photo. And that photo is literally the only photo I could find of him on the internet that was at a high enough resolution to use as a face picture, and it's not at a particularly high resolution. So I got that sorted out this morning. We also signed Matt Mouset. Both these players were recommendations through the transfer room module. Mouset comes in, he's like actually quite decent physically. He comes in to be our deep lying forward. He hasn't necessarily nailed down the position yet. He's still splitting between him and Stojanovic. They've got 4 and 3 goals between them. But Mouset in our very last game, which was the repeat game against FA2000, let's all meet up at FA2000. He scored after 19 seconds.
It's not the statistics. You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, cultured left foot, you absolute gentleman. That is a gift subscription to Bolskov, to Gundo10, to Max, to Carbers and Indicium. You are an absolute star. I know exactly. You're a member on YouTube, but you already do enough. You are far too kind. Bless you very much, my dude. I need to catch up with some of these GOAT suggestions as well. We've got Hayes. Whilst I'm going through and catching up on those, Mouset scored in the last game after 19 seconds, which is really quite nice. So let's get Emma Hayes in there. Absolutely great shout for the managers. Hasselbank in there. Luis Hernandez as well. Hasselbank, Hernandez. We've got another shout for Hulk there. Indeed, you're slow, Crudmo. Well, of course, one size fits all. One size, the greatest nickname in football. Fits all. Sounds like fits all. One size fits all. It's just beautiful stuff. And not a special goal by any shout, but it's a quick goal, and that's cool, and that's what I like. We're going for Lewis Hall in the GOAT race. That's a bold suggestion. Welcome in, Hungdo Tuan. Lovely to see you, my dude. Lovely to see you. And I do apologise if I've missed any of you. Cosine, I see you're in. I see Cal, you're over here on Twitch as well. Lovely to have you guys in. I say, if I've missed saying welcome to, I do apologise. Feel free to give me a shout again and say, oh, you missed me. Gaming Fishy, I missed you. I haven't now though. I've rectified that. It's great to have you guys in. So shall we head straight into a game? We've got a game against Our House Fremad now. Our House Fremad we drew with in the last stream. Right at the end there, I was pretty happy with that result. They were predicted to finish in the top 6. They are just about in the top 6, but they've had a bit of a topsy-turvy season. So with a home game, we should hope to win this one. We've got basically our entire squad available. We've now got 20 players. So the youth players that we had in the senior squad for the first couple of games, we can leave them to develop because they are only children. And let's see how we get on, shall we? Let's see how we get on. It's not the Stavitskis. See, I miss Bill. I missed Bill. I'm so sorry, Bill. How are you doing? Perhaps for the final stage of an interview, time for Muster's soothing voice to carry me over the line. I do apologise. I appreciate the kind words, but to me, my voice is like hearing nails against a chalkboard. It's one of the worst experiences ever, having to listen to your own voice. But I suppose you're not listening. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. How are you doing, Bill? Lovely to see you. Now, I popped a suggestion over on the Discord that we might look to watch from here. So it's a little bit above our head. Let's have this game watched from the manager's perspective. I mean, this might be unfair. If you guys hate it, don't worry. We can revert back. There was absolutely no problem with that. I just thought it's quite an interesting way to view the game. Might be a little bit different to what we normally do. And let's face it, I'm chatting to you guys. I'm only half paying attention. The assistant manager's made all our tactical decisions for us. So let's essentially be a fan. That's the approach. We are possibly going to turn the speed up a little though, as it looks like our house are coming forwards now. Our house supported by the wonderful David Nyholm. So he'll be hoping for a win. I wonder if he's about. I wish I could remember exactly what his tag was, because then I could have given him a shout out. One Size is a great nickname. You've always preferred Kiki Masampa's nickname. Christmas Hamper, indeed. A fabulous surname, that is indeed. Keisuke Honda was very underrated back in the day, Rorschach. I agree with you completely. It's the second mention for him as well. Very much deserved.
It's not the statistics.
The statistics.
You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Right, we're going to drop down to balance because they're having a few chances. Let's just get a little bit of control, encourage those guys. And grassroots guys, thank you very much for the subscription. You are an absolute star. How are you, by the way, grassroots guy? I'm not sure if I've asked before, but who would you support? Who are you playing with in FM? Love to know. No obligation to chat, by the way. How about Premier League champion Robert Huth? Let's get Robert Huth down on there. Rick, Guardiola's departure has been made official now. My word. My word. I mean, I think we all knew that was happening when it was kind of announced earlier on this week, but to have it official before the final game, I suppose make sure we can have the send-off, right? Now that they can no longer win the league, it's not a distraction. So I can kind of understand making it official. It'll be nice to have a send-off. I am a bit disappointed though. I kind of expected Guardiola to stick around just to maybe another year to see if he could win the title and then go out on a high. But there's been a lot of suggestion that they've already lined up. What's his name? Enzo Maresca. So maybe that's an element there. Right, they're starting to foul. They're getting worried here, Olberg. Our house. Mouse, it's going to take the free kick. Standing over it from distance. It's a good free kick. It's a good save. I did see a shout for Jiz Hornkamp, Eunice. Jiz Hornkamp most definitely deserves to go on the greatest names of all time, without a doubt. You've got to give an Anderlecht suggestion, which means you've got to give Thorgan Hazard a shout as well. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. Celestia, you've got the Aussie rules on the TV. I've tried on multiple occasions to get into Aussie rules. I'm almost on board with it until the various different types of goals. Here's Baluli coming away. It's a good save by Brune. Good lad, Brune. Good lad. Kai Havertz, after what happened this week, I assume you're talking about him winning the title for Arsenal and not getting away with what should have been a clear red card, eh? So, Max, you feel just like in real life when I'm coaching. See, exactly. It's beautiful, right? Beautiful. Can Huntelaar, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, win the GOAT race? We will know. We've got a shout from already. That is now the second one. So he could be in with a shout. Here comes Kirshner. Niner. Farborg with the foul. We're going to demand more. We've been a little bit rubbish so far in this game. Double H in Horst Hrubesch. Hrubesch indeed. a fantastic coach as well in some of the FMs. Great shout. So guys, personal thanks. Your data document online has given me the motivation to try my own Moneyball save with Dynamo Dresden. Nice. Personal team is Chelsea for your sins. I mean, someone's got to support Chelsea, right? Somebody's got to do it. I've got to... Oh, that's a penalty, ref. Look at Farbog. I don't know if he just went down under his own volition. He just went down. Where is he? Here he is, Farbog. He's running forwards. And oh, there we go. There's the collapse. That'll be a muscle injury. Ah, well. Yeah, but Dynamo Dresden sounds like an absolutely fantastic save. How are you getting on with it? Or how far in are you? How about Harold Halter on the opposition team? Holy shit, he's in your Kong.
It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, Lestry, you absolute gent. That is gift subscriptions to Johnson, to Passpro, to Del Decker, to Rick, and to Benji FM. What an absolute star you are. So Harold Halter on the opposition team. He's in your Kongsvinger team. Nice. Oh, that's what I need to show you. I mean, I'll just tell you, but when we knocked Lingby, who are in the top division, out of the cup in a 2-2 draw that went through on penalties, their goalkeeper was our favourite man whose name is the moustache. Oscar Snore was in goal, and he got an assist against us. Bastard. Quite bastard. I mean, it is quite a legacy to follow up for Maresca. And do you know what? I do wonder whether when teams are replacing a legendary manager, I do wonder whether they are tempted at times to get a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. And I wonder if Maresca is potentially that sacrificial lamb. Someone who can come in, feels like a bit of a continuation, has some connection to the club, but who realistically will be out the door within a couple of years as you then look for your next big guy. How about David Hopkin for both Redheads and the greatest promotion final goal in history for Palace? Let's get a bit of David Hopkins. Now that is a Merlin sticker player if ever there is one, because it is a glorious shock of red hair. Right, it's actually been relatively even in terms of shots. We've had 60% of the possession. We're doing okay. We brought Svensson on. Idris is not having a great time and he's looking nervous. So we're going to bring on Wettergren. Wettergren's currently unhappy at the club because he's not been playing many minutes. This isn't going to sate him in that regard, but he is left-footed like Idris, so it's kind of a like-for-like replacement. Welcome in, Passpro. Huntelaar was phenomenal just for that brief period of time. A bit like Ricky Van Wolfswinkel in that respect as well. A player that just had this reasonably big purple patch. How are you doing anyway, Passpro? Lovely to see you. We need some more defenders like Breda Hongerland as well. I mean, if it wasn't for Breda Hongerland, we would have never known about Felix Magath's cheese remedy. That's the only thing missing is screaming to the far side when your wingback is not holding the whip. I mean, it will be that. This is one of the things I'm really excited by, and this is the mod by Bassy Boy, sorry. It's part of the Staging Mega Pack. It's not a standalone, unfortunately, but he has the camera mod here, which now allows ball tracking, which is going to be so good once this gets turned into the narrative YouTube series, because I can have the camera on the dugout and I can then mask myself in just shouting obscenities. It should be good. I should have fun. That's the hope. That's the hope, at least. Another shout for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. That's the second shout for Hasselbank. Where is he on my list? There he is. Get that down. A fabulous suggestion, George. Welcome in, by the way. Winkinator, welcome in as well. What about Piero Hincapi? As an underrated centre-back. I mean, he is most certainly underrated centre-back. Is he the greatest of all time? Maybe we'll find out. As Fremad send another shot over. Our house. All the highlights have been for our house. That's probably the main thing. And certainly from an XG perspective, they're doing better than us as well. Right, we're going to bring Del Suze off for Svensson. And we're going to bring Kierkegaard off because he's looking nervous too. And that means we can bring Winkle on. So we've got Svensson and Svensson on, one ahead of the other. And let's see. There's the assistant ref's flag go up. I think we might actually change our mentality. Let's go. Let's push. Let's push. We could really do with providing a little bit more threat, right? How about a little bit of Sebastian Haller and Rasmus Højlund? Let's get them on there as well. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And there we go. Oscar Svensson. Boom.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
On the volley, off the underside of the bar. What a goal from our young striker. Beautiful stuff. We've got a shout for... Oh. There we go. When I click the thing, it takes off the ball tracking. I didn't know that until now. There we go. Alex Hunter. I am not familiar with Alex Hunter, unfortunately. Could we have Rico Henry? We could certainly pop him down the list. We could have Gus Hiddink as a managerial shout. Is absolutely fine. Welcome in here, A1. How are you doing? Is it I keep on calling you Ale Ward. Is it Ale Ward or is it A1 Ward or A1 Wood? Hey. Yeah. What is it? What is it? So I'm trying to think through what the possibilities could be, and then I'm having a bit of a brain freeze moment. We've got another player down. It's Victor Svensson this time. He's got himself a little bit of an orange injury, so we will be. That's all our subs used up, and we'll bring him off now. A brief cameo from Victor Svensson, bless him. How about Fernando Hierro? Fernando Hierro is a great shout. Harold Holt is not necessarily the shout I would go for, but the only prime minister to go for a swim and never come back. He named an aquatic centre after him. That is some fine Australian humour. We should probably drop back down to balance and try and see out the last few minutes of this game, right? Neuer injured for the DFB Pokal final. Glad to see he's the number one for the World Cup. That is crazy. That is, I mean, look, Neuer is a really good goalkeeper. And if he's available, you take him. I kind of get that, but also feels a little bit shitty. So you hope Maresca is given time. I'm not sure. Maybe. And who knows? I think he was doing some okay stuff with Chelsea. And you've got to remember that whilst some Chelsea fans absolutely hated him, the reason he was sacked was not for results, but because he kept on saying, hey, we could do with a senior centre-back that's actually quite good, please. Cosign suggested Handanovic. A fine suggestion there as well. Huntelaar was part of the... But was Huntelaar still going in 18-19? That is crazy. That is crazy. So Artem's here. You're quite nervous about Maresca as someone who's not a City fan. He's been great at setting his team up in big games, and now he has a better team for the smaller games when he has tended to drop points. Yeah, exactly that. Since Sarah Chall is not here to nominate all the Norwegians, you're going to suggest Eric Hofton. A fine shout. A fine shout indeed. And then a little bit of Gunnar Hallo as well. Beautiful stuff. Do they play in the middle of the street? Our house do indeed, as Max Mouser makes it too. Right, I need some...
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
I do need a little bit of our house in the middle of the street for if we play them again. So I think the list of managers that could follow up Pep is just very short indeed. Luis Enrique would obviously be a great shout if he was available. But he'd be crazy to leave what he has at PSG right now, especially with those charges lingering over Man City at the moment. You know, that you can't ignore that. As far as the job goes, there's a large amount of uncertainty that comes to it. See, there we go. Max says that he did hard work at Chelsea. I told you there are going to be people at Chelsea that we've done. I think that, I mean, given what we've seen with Poch, what we've seen with another injury. Come on. Let's just hope he's mucking around. We've definitely lost one striker already. Farborg was a red one. Looked like he probably pulled a hamstring or something. That's 2 orange injuries. One to Svensson, one to Mouset as well. So we could be down to... We've got a youth striker on the bench, so we could be down to 2 senior strikers, one of who is 17. A1 or Josh may be easiest, but honestly, I've been called worse. A1 it will be. A1. I will try my best to remember that. Another shout for Handanovic as well. Beautiful stuff. 2-0. That's a good, solid result. Doesn't change our position in the league, but we don't win many games by more than a goal, so I am 100% taking that. Good stuff. Unknown baller Alex Hunter was. Is he the... He's the FIFA one, and as Max has converted. There we go. Ronaldo Enriquez should join the GOAT race. Which Ronaldo is that? I mean, there are already at least 2 better Ronaldos, that's for sure. Is that a big win for Academic? It is indeed. But still, that's a 5-point gap maintained between us and 4th. We're still 3 points off top. And let's have a look at the damage. A bruised knee, 2 days. That's fine. We've not got a game. A bruised ankle, 2 days. That's fine. A twisted ankle. That's not too bad. 2 to 3 weeks. We'll miss him for a couple of matches. He is our top goal scorer. 7 goals so far this season. But Svensson's done okay. We'll drop him out. We will take... Oh, not the second team. I want the under-19 squad. Christian Dahl can come back onto the bench. He's made a sub-appearance for us already this season in the cup. And that'll do very, very nicely. For all the very valid criticisms of his time there, he's gotten several big games spot on Arsenal, Barcelona, PSG, for example. Well, one of the PSG games at least, right? I reckon Hierro and Helguera are already on the list for that sweet Galacticos favourite pass pro. Hierro is. Helguera is not. He is now, though. I think most of the disappointment with Neuer's is the communication beforehand. Nagelsmann has mentioned for months that Baumann, who's not a good number 1, is going to be the starting keeper because now Neuer has retired from the national team. Indeed, that is fair. Lishoy is unhappy. We will tell him that he's going to have to get used to being a squad. Oh, and he's agreed. That's nice. I didn't expect that. I expected absolute hell to pay. Every single player's on a 1-year contract with an option to extend, apart from maybe a couple of players who didn't want to sign the extension option. So if we upset players by not playing them, it doesn't really matter. They're leaving at the end of the season anyway, right? Baumann played the whole qualification. Nagelsmann even really backed him in the big interview in March. I mean, yeah, but Baumann wouldn't have played the whole qualification if Neuer wasn't retired at the time, right? Welcome in, Abdira. Lovely to see you, my dude. Would be cool to see a video in your usual style focused on player roles, especially which roles are overpowered and why they work so well in different tactics. Unfortunately, you're unlikely to find me looking at things that are overpowered or exploity in the game engine. Generally speaking, I try and avoid that. But you know, maybe there is something there to look at player roles. That said, though, why would I? Deep Line Playmaker does sensational videos covering that very specific topic. I'm very much a strong believer in the importance of not doing something that's already been done really, really well. Rather, focus people towards the Deep Lying Playmaker. I'm sure everyone already knows who he is. I don't have a direct link, but if you look up Deep Lying Playmaker on YouTube, let me pop it there, all as one word, and he is an absolute phenomenal creator. And that's despite being American, which is quite crazy. Another shout for Matt Hummels, beautiful. We've got him on there as well. We'll get that. We've got a bingo redeemed, so let's go and do a bingo shortly for we guys, and then we've got a break coming up, so that'll be perfect. And then we'll come back and I'll try at some point to keep up to date with chat. But in the meantime, let's do this first. Let's grab one of these, pop these in the link. Here we go. And I will pop on over. So if you guys haven't played bingo before, you don't know what's going on, don't worry, I will explain. You've got a lovely little link in your chat, which will take you to the lobby. Once I click start, every single player gets a unique bingo card with 16 squares. They will contain things like clubs, countries, competitions, awards. We then all get revealed a list of players, one after the other. We get 10 seconds to decide whether that player matches one of the squares on our card. If it does, we click on it. That locks it in, it can't be undone. If they don't match a square, you let the 10 seconds run out, or you click skip, and then it goes on to the next player. And the goal is to get 16 squares correctly identified. And last time we were here, there's just a certain Mr. FMGNG got a bingo. We got plenty of people that got very, very close as well. And there are some remarkably well-informed football brains in this chat. And then there are idiots like myself. So if you are also an idiot, don't worry, you'll be in good company. Don't feel that's a reason to not play along. So what I tend to do now is I tend to give it sort of like about maybe another minute and a half or so, just to give people a chance to sign up, and then we'll kick off. And I will then drop into a bit more of the chat there. So didn't see the guess the player, so bingo it is. So guess the player is going to be saved specifically for the break. It's something to happen whilst I go and poison my lungs and stretch my legs. So Cromo says the problem with Chelsea isn't the manager. Yep, 100%. We need a Musterman album. Oh, it'd be so bad. It'd be so bad. Nickname, didn't City hire a small city's worth of lawyers to litigate that case? Surely that will still take years. I reckon, I think that if that case takes more than another 2 years, I'd be surprised. I think it's still going to be quite a while before it's resolved, though, that's for sure. The problem with Chelsea is they try and walk it in. I see what you did there. There's a lovely bit of IT crowd reference. When we're still allowed to like the IT crowd, even if we don't like the person responsible for it. Right, okay. Let's start the game. So I've clicked start now. Head on over. If you've got to open in another tab, it will already have started the countdown, and we will get on and head into a little bit of bingo. See how we get on today. Now our first one off the top is a goalkeeper by the name of Aaron Ramsdale. Now I know for sure. Oh, that's below the belt, RJ. Representing Belgium with waffles. Disgraceful stuff. Disgraceful stuff. Do we have any other leagues in here? We don't at the moment. We do have a little bit of Ryan Gravenberch though. Are we going to play him for Dutch? I think I'm going to play him for Dutch. Let's get him out of the way. And as somebody mentioned a little bit earlier, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar was at Ajax in the 18-19 season. So that's that one sorted out for us nicely. We've got another Chelsea player coming in here with Axel Disasi, who is currently on loan at West Ham. We've got another Belgian. We've got Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany. Has he won the Champions League, though? I don't know. Running through our Belgian league, obviously. He came through at Anderlecht. How about a bit of René Higuita? I don't think Higuita matches any of these, unfortunately. We have another West Ham player, though. Here's Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen, therefore, would have won the... Was it the Europa League or the Conference League they won? I mean, I know that as a Villa fan, I should now know absolutely everything there is to know about the Europa League and its history and what a wonderfully fine competition it is. Yada, 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 yada. But I'm still completely clueless when it comes to that. Glenn Johnson. Let's see. When did he go from Portsmouth to Chelsea? Was Mourinho there? I'm going to say he was. I'm not feeling all that confident with it though. Hector Bellerin. There isn't greatest fashion sense as an option, unfortunately. Might have won Euros. Maybe. Fagioli. I'm not sure if he matches any of those. Certainly not confident about it, that's for sure. I feel like Craig Bellamy. Was Craig Bellamy at Liverpool at that time? I'm not sure he was, so we'll let that one run as well. Justin Kluivert. A very fine Kluivert, don't get me wrong, but not the best Kluivert, sadly. Christian Fuchs, yes he does. We're going with German for Christian Fuchs. I'm not convinced on that one. I'm not convinced on that one at all. I wonder whether he might be Austrian or something really, really surprising in that regard. But there we go. Gareth Bale to... I think I'm better at knowing players that play with Cristiano Ronaldo, so I'll play him for the Champions League. Lucas Beraldo. We're going to let that one go. Going to look at Oliver Baumann. There we go. Oliver Baumann, we are going to let that one skip, unfortunately. Kevin Prince Boateng. Now, Kevin Prince Boateng was the one that played for Germany, and... No, Kevin Prince played for Ghana, and Jerome played for Germany? I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that. A possible H-goat, Georgie Hadji up. Georgie Hadji, what a player. But I'm not confident on any of those, so we let that go. Robert Huth, another H-goat who's been mentioned. Has he won the Euros with Germany? Is he Brazilian? Has he won a treble? He might have won a treble. Was Quentin Fortune at Man United when they won the treble? I feel like he came a little bit later. I think, though, he was there when Cristiano Ronaldo was there, because he's in the squad in Champs 03-04. I think. Maybe. Andre Guardado, I'm going to let that one go through. Philip Cocu could have won a treble. Hasn't won the Euros, isn't Brazilian. Don't think he played for Lille. Don't think Lars Bender does either. Ciro Immobile. Was he part of the squad that won the Euros? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. What's the worst that can happen? I'm wrong. That's it. Not the worst thing in the world. I don't think El Clichy has won a treble. I don't think Sead Kolasinac has won a treble. Has Miralem Pjanic played for Lille? I feel like Pjanic could have played for Lille at some point. Højlund, we're going to skip. Højbjerg. It's currently at Marseille. We're skipping on Højbjerg. Nacho Monreal. Not feeling good on that. Has Dani Olmo won a treble? Stajan Stankovic won a treble. Francesco Acerbi won a... Dwight York has won a treble. I'm happy I've waited for that. Paul Scholes also has. We could have gone with that. João Felix. I've missed. There's been some Belgian League ones that I could have played earlier. I have a feeling I'm going to regret that. Thankfully, well, maybe I'm not. How do we do? I think there's two wrong. Bowen and Fuchs. I spent quite a bit of time saying that I think I messed up with Fuchs. But Krudmo with a bingo. Some beautiful, beautiful stuff there. Congratulations, sir. Medical car, the best you've done. I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, how did you get on? I don't like to expand the list. I don't want to show off people's scores down. You know, I don't want to be mean. James, welcome in. I will take issue with calling ourselves European champions. We have won a European competition. We are the champions. We can't deny that. Johnson, did you get an ages one? That's unfortunate. We have 5 points making their way. Making the way to Krudmo. Sensational, sir. And then we've got 4 points each going to Rick, to Val, to Grizzly, to Mattia. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, no, we don't. We have 3 points going to you because we've got a late charge coming in from Ladislav Almasi fan. There we go. A second bingo on the dot there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Is that right? Almasi 5. The rest 3. Unfortunately, those of us that came under 5th place, we do not get any points. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Dani Olmo was part of the Barca squad last season that won it, I think. Fair enough. I had a feeling there was the possibility, but I wasn't 100% certain on that. Right. we're going to pop to a break in a second. So what happens is we go on a break. It takes about 3 minutes whilst I go and I'm going to poison my lungs. I'm going to stretch my legs. I'm going to do all the boring stuff because it's not a good idea to sit staring at a computer for longer than an hour at a time. Whilst we've got a break, there will be ads running. For those that there aren't ads running, we do have a little game going on there. We've got a little bit of guess the player. It's going to reveal, the clues are going to reveal over time. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. I will see you guys in 3 minutes. And we're back. Sensational work, Rick. It was indeed Mika got to celebrate his non-World Cup participation. That was why he was at the forefront of my mind as I was trying to work out how to add a little mini game into the break. That is some fabulous work there from Rick, getting a good 3 points. So that would have been what? 5 points was position, 3 points was 4 points was attribute, 3 points was on the value. Bloody hell, well done, sir. Well done indeed. Right, and we head pretty much straight into a game against Thisted. It's time to get Thisted, chaps. The only change we've got in there, obviously, is our youngster, Oscar Svensson. Is he 18 yet? He is now 18. Bless him. He's been really quite good for us. If we think about it, he started 3 games right at the end of last season. We were just like, hell to it. We'll just throw him in the deep end. Let's see how it goes. And he scored 2 goals in those 3 starts. This season, he's only been used off the bench in the league. He's already got 2 goals. So he probably hasn't played that many minutes. He started a couple of the cup games. He got 1 goal in there. He's got good movement. He's got good pace. He's got good finishing. I mean, that last goal, that volley from outside the area was very, very nice. So I don't feel too worried about that. I think actually, let's give Winkle the start for Hereford. Okay. So we don't have him. Are we going to put a grey player in? Actually, that grey player is just as bad as most of our players. Welcome to the team, Jess Gunst. Jess Gunst, our new left winger. We don't play with a left winger. That's fine. That's fine, eh? It was in the middle of our street. It was in the middle of the street. So your shout for today, you get welcome in, by the way, you get is Hulk. Another shout for Hulk. He's quite a popular suggestion so far. A fine suggestion. So Quan, welcome in, by the way. You say it one last time because I want to admit to this wonder. You skipped Douay for treble winner instantly. Yes, because I'm not confident on domestic cups of other leagues. I mean, yes, I do know that PSG won the treble last season, but at the same time, it just doesn't sit in my brain right at the top. I felt confident that if there was treble winner on there, we were going to get a Man United player of that era. So trying to go safe, relatively. But how are you doing anyway, Quan? Andy Halliday, welcome. That's a fair shout, George. Halliday, beautiful stuff. Let's see. Oh, we need to sort the camera again as well. I've tried there's a thing that says save absolute and save whale. I'm not sure they quite work as I thought they would. We'll get ourselves vaguely in the middle. We'll drop the camera down. We'll zoom out a little bit. Let's get some dugout action going. Alan Hansen. I'm surprised that Alan Hansen hasn't been mentioned already. Although I'm sure there's a certain amount of Alan Hansen fatigue as a result of his match of the day endeavours. Right, can we get something from this free kick? No, it looks like a chance to counter. Here come Thisted. Thisted to Kier. I mean, it wasn't Thisted who played it to Kier, and I'm sure there was a more clear TH sound to the start of their name, but I'm a child. I'm just a hairy child that is going to keep on saying Thisted over and over again. And you're doing good. I'm not doing bad myself. Obviously, Villa have won the Europa League. Everything is tickety damn boo. Although it is also bloody hot as well. I am not enjoying that right now, that's for sure. Right, Cromwell's off for a sandwich. I don't blame you, sir. And I believe if you have to shoot off as well, I might catch you. Well, I was going to say catch you later. I'm going to literally catch you in about a week. So George, it's with Bassy Boy's staging mod. Sadly, it's not standalone. So if all you want is the camera mod, you do need to download the whole 60 gigabyte package. As Oscar Svensson, he just can't stop scoring. Oscar Svensson can't stop scoring.
It's Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj, who scores goals, it's Brønshøj, who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Oscar Svensson, what a player, what a player. So yeah, with the camera mod, you do have to download the whole package. Inside of that, there is, in the zipped file, there is a plugin section to the BepInEx inject. There is one bit that is just called custom camera or camera mod or something along those lines. You only need to install that part of it if that's all you're interested in, which is what I've done. I haven't gone for the staging mod just to try and keep the number of additional assets that FM has loaded down, because whilst I'm streaming, obviously I've got other things running as we go, and I'm trying to do that. I like to keep it as lightweight as I possibly can. As Son Heung-min, although I think it is just Son on his shirt, sadly, but that's one to keep hold of for S. Musterman album we need. We do not need a Musterman album. We do not need to encourage me to sing. Dear God, we don't. We found ourselves a Junior Krupi. He's better than Junior Krupi. Oscar Svensson is the future of Danish third-tier football. How about Norman Hunter? A fine suggestion indeed. Another vote for her Henri. Beautiful stuff there. And a suggestion for Heinze. We haven't had Heinze mentioned before. And obviously, he joined Arsenal as a coach this season, didn't he? I think it was this season he joined as a coach. And they've gone and won the league. I mean, how much more of an impact do you need to have? As Oscar Svensson takes another shot from distance, it's quite easily gathered by Raul Haga. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way, Cal Curtis. Lovely to have you in. I did say hello a little bit late earlier, but if you're comfortable letting us know, who do you support? Who are you playing with in FM at the moment? So Welsh Smithy has gone for Alfie Ingerhand as well. So we now currently have one mention of Erling Haaland, 2 mentions for Alfie Ingerhaaland. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? And what's his cousin? There's another like Braut Haaland somewhere, I'm sure. Reported you to Twitch for that shirt. Llama, how can you say that? Whilst we've been on a break, Llama, lovely to see you as always. And now, of course, if you guys aren't following Llama, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You should rectify that right now, this very, very second. But during the break, Llama, we had your lovely face on the screen, telling people that they need to go and watch your stuff. And then you come in here with the Villa insults. I'm hurt, Llama. I'm hurt. Joking. How are you doing, my dude? How are you doing? And there we go. We have been fisted now. Victor Anderson with an equaliser. Looks like a bit of a goalkeeping error there from Brun. I mean, Kjaer had all the time in the world out on that left flank. Swings it in, and Brun just absolutely fluffs it. And Anderson is there to poke home an equaliser. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, I'm just so amazed that we're doing so well. I mean, we could lose every game for the rest of the season. We're probably safe, which is more than I expected coming into the season. So yeah, let's take it. Although, Svensson, you naughty man, almost doing something very special there to respond. I mean, we are losing on XG. 0.28 XG from 6 shots isn't great. But their high XG is because the goalkeeper dropped the ball at a player's foot. It's Albert Braut Charland. He's a T. Damn. There's Jonathan Braut Brunes, who plays in Belgium. So if you mention Hadji 100 times, he'd be in the lead. Quite possibly, Grizzly. What I do is, from all these names, and there are so many, we've got Hazard, we've got Hupia, we've got Hidakuti, we've got Mia Hamm, we've got Hahn, we've got Hart, we've got Henry, we've got Hadji, we've got Holland, we've got Hummels, we've got Henderson, we've got Huntelaar, we've got Hulk, we've got Hart, we've got Howard, we've got Haman, we've got Harms, we've got Hubert, we've got Hincapi. We're about to concede a goal. No, we're not. Thank God. We've got Hangeland, we've got Haller, we've got Hoyland, we've got... The words are starting to get a little bit harder to read now. We've got some Hiddink, we've got Hierro, we've got Handanovic, we've got Houghton, we've got Haller, we've got Halliday, we've got Hansen, we've got Hitzelsperger, we've got Hradsky, we've got Hamzik. Looked like Hamish to me. We've got Hadji, we've got Hurst, we've got Højbjerg, we've got Hurst, we've got two Hurst, we've got Hayes, we've got Hasselbank, we've got Hall, we've got Hulk again, we've got Huth, we've got Hornkamp, we've got Hazard again, we've got Havertz, we've got Rubesh, we've got Hobkin as well. We've got a lot of H's. From that list, I will narrow it down to 4. When I'm narrowing it down to 4, I will take into account players that might have been mentioned by multiple people. But it will still ultimately be at my discretion. So if I decide that I want to put Tony Hibbert in there, as crazy as that might sound, I will put Tony Hibbert in there. I'm more likely, I'll be honest, I'm more likely to put Dr. Hibbert in there, but still perfectly reasonable. Llama, you should never apologise for your face. Never whatsoever. We've got a suggestion from Makoto Hasebe as well. Let's get him added onto that list. Right, it's 1-1 at half time. This is a little bit like the other game where things are actually quite even in terms of the volume of shots, but we're only really seeing highlights for the opposition. We're having a lot of the ball. hopefully, maybe just by bringing it down to balance, we can get a little bit more control in that second half, and build on that from there. Del Suze is having another stinker. It's not a stinker. I mean, he's on a 6.5. We just haven't really seen him involved. His best contributions are when he's been breaking forwards and getting into shooting opportunities. We haven't seen that from him, so he's probably going to be the first candidate to be subbed off, along with maybe the wing-backs, because they get very tired. I mean, stamina at this level is not really something that is heard of. But maybe we can muster something here. Here's Del Suze. Can I just play it back? Is this going to be one of those where we get caught in possession, or are we going to work it methodically through the lines eventually? We're going backwards quite a bit. Quite a bit we are going backwards. And then we're going forwards. And Svensson with the header from Jonas Idris's long ball. It's time for a little bit more blur.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Boom! That's what we wanted. 2-1. Good start to the second half. It's Brønshøj. It's goals for Brønshøj. The Brønshøj that scores goals. It's the goals for Brønshøj. The Brønshøj, they score goals. I do apologise so much. Hot shot Hamish from Roy of the Rovers. Exactly. That's what I was going for. 100%. Does Van Hanegem count? So no, we've decided that Vans and Days will go under the first letter that appears on their shirt. So that'll be a V. And that's how we ended up with Del Piero, for example, as a D. Another shout for Ian Hart from Captain Zeep as we go 3-1 up. Nikolai Larsson. Let's get some more blur.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
I still need to do Seek and Brønshøj at some point. I was too busy playing around with that mini game for the break that I didn't get round to recording another one. We do need some more, for sure, for sure. Tony Hibbert should be a shoo-in, no conversation. I mean, I imagine there was at least 2 people in chat that want Tony Hibbert to be the GOAT for sure. Radetzky is in there. Radetzky is absolutely in there. Johnson, are you saying Radetzky nutmegged Teemu Pukki earlier this season? Or are you saying you nutmegged Teemu Pukki earlier this season? Because you have been coming up against some like crazy players, so I could believe that's the case. Is anything going to happen with this highlight? Yes, it is. Mouse it into the wall, over for a corner. Never forget that Fulham sacking Gerrard is why you won the Europa League. Exactly, Dazza. Exactly. I mean, if it hadn't been for, well, I'm giving more credit to Dougie Luiz for getting sent off against Fulham for Gerrard getting sacked. But thank you for the part that you played. Max, a nice shout, only known by football enthusiasts. How about a bit of Sabol Schusti, most famous for scoring a last-minute bicycle kick for Hanover against Werder Bremen. He celebrated by taking off his jersey and climbing onto a fence, which led to him getting a red card for each one as a separate offence. That is harsh. That is obscenely harsh. Right, let's start with the changes. We're going to bring on Lishoy. We're going to bring on Victor Svensson. We're probably going to bring on Stojanovic in a moment as well. Here comes Sandstrom. He's in behind. The flag stayed down. Sandstrom narrowly wide. Oh, he's going to kick himself for missing that. Shocking. Musterman to the Eurovision. Here we go. I mean, I would quite happily represent Greece at Eurovision. Surely I can't be any worse than that. I mean, it was gloriously camp and kitsch. That was it. Furto, with his cat ear hat. What a legend. So Ravensword is backing you up on that one. Oh no, you're backing up Grizzly on all Vans count for V though. Yeah. Oh, right, you talk about Van Hagen. Right. There we go. We're going to win it, lads, aren't we? We're going to win the fucking league. We're going to win the fucking league. Ravensword suggested Sammy Hoopier. That's another shout for Hoopier. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Gary Neville would say that he over-celebrated. Yes, but then Gary Neville is an idiot, bless him. He can't see the ball with the mouse cursor. By do that and try and move the mouse cursor out of the way. Does that help, or do you guys want us to go back to a more traditional viewing angle? I'm more than happy to, if you guys would prefer that. I should wear a cat-eared hat at Eurovision too. I mean, surely I'd have to go for some kind of different gimmick. I do have that mini top hat hairband around somewhere. We could go with that instead. A Musterman and JJ Bull music collab would be legendary. I mean, oh, isn't JJ Bull great? Isn't JJ Bull great? And his song that John McGinn is a dinosaur should 100% be Scotland's official World Cup song. As there's a chance now, let's tell them to focus. One question, I don't know if people know. So when you do a shout basically makes a couple of minor tactical tweaks here and there under the hood for 10-15 minutes. If after I've made the shout, we know that changing tactics changes the shout. We know that already. But if I make changes now to the team instructions, which I can't as a part of this save, but would those changes to the team instructions override whatever little tweaks the shouts has made? Genuine question. It's not something I've really thought about until now, and now I've thought about it, it's the most important question that has ever existed. Let's make a couple of changes there, including at the back. Let's get some fresh legs on, see if we can contain them a little bit, hopefully. So Max, I love how you're at least 3 minutes taller than the opposition coach. So is the domination you want to achieve. I mean, ultimately, so where are we? We'll wait for this highlight to go, and its whistles over. So I am actually also, one more there, about 1 foot above me as well. I just go for a slightly elevated angle so that we can kind of see a little bit more of the pitch. As much as I would like a proper dugout view, I think I'm trying to get a little bit of balance. So cursor in the middle when the game is playing, like notifications not clicked, your ADHD is kicking. I'm sorry, so I will try and do that. Often it's over the chat as I'm scrolling up and down, but to make sure that what we saw after a couple of goals when I'd click on the soundboard was that the camera would stop tracking, so I just click in. I'll try my best. Feel free to keep on saying, oi, your cursor's in the middle of the screen. I'm more than happy to get that moved out the way. So what will happen first? Your laptop downloading 50 gig or Musterman beginning his stream next week? I mean, yeah, George, that's the thing. I mean, it's hosted by Sort It Out SI as well. So their free downloads is a throttled speed as well, unless you want to pay for their monthly. I think it's 83p a month or whatever to get their fast downloads. So even if you don't have technical considerations, you also have the download time considerations as well. As we look to get a fourth, Svensson was going for his hat trick. It's a good save though in the end. So Cromwell doesn't like it as well. Dazzy, you're not here for the FM viewing angle. You're here for the niche football chat. Exactly. That's part of the reason why I thought it'd be quite fun. Is because no one's here for the football. I'm barely paying attention to the game. And I'm technically meant to be the one managing it, right? Welcome in Indicium. Happy Friday to you, sir. How are you? We could just imagine you standing on a chair. I've got a chair literally right on top of the dugout. 100%. We are going to win the league. Yes, there we go. A good 3-1 win away from home. Get fisted. I will apologise. I'm going to keep on talking about fisting, and that really isn't appropriate for midday on a Friday. I know it's almost the weekend. I don't want to know what you plan on getting up to in that respect, but we have to just deal with that as it comes. Now, while we were playing, Dazza redeemed a round of Only Connect, so let's head on over and play a round of Only Connect, shall we? Now, if you guys haven't, for those that haven't played Only Connect before, the instructions are on screen, but I will explain them anyway. So you're going to see 4 pictures revealed one after the other of football players. Your job is to work out what connects them all. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. You also get points if you correctly identify each player in the picture. So for every player you identify, you get a point. That means you need to spell their name correctly. You can give their full name, you can give just their surname. Both will work. But nothing will work actually until I press the magic, or type in the magic only connect command, which is very, very creatively only connect. That lets all the lovely little answers get picked up on the back end now. Now I'm going to reveal the first clue. The first clue is this fine Newcastle chap. So we've got some guesses coming in right off the top, but could it be that DeMarco is somehow the clue? So Max, do I have any background in music? I play music. I've got my basses in the background there. I am a bassist for all my sins. Ravens, it's 7 in the morning here, so it's a great topic when, I mean, if you're going to be talking about fisting early, it might as well be just as you've woken up. Let's be fair. Could it be that they've all been signed by Graham Souness as he thought they were George Weah's cousin? That would be an interesting connection. It's sadly not that. Could it be that they've all won a Europa League title under Emery? Again, that would have been right on brand for me. I'm trying to be gracious. Max doesn't know who it is. Ladislav, our massive fan, doesn't know who he is, so he's just going to guess that they're all old. Quadmo thinks it's Dabadas. It wasn't. It is Laurent Charvet, as Lestri has correctly guessed, which is beautiful stuff. Well done, sir. Could it be that they've all played with Philippe Albert? That's a fine guess. It's not that. It's not that they've all played with Stephen Taylor either. Has it been top scorers for the English team in the World Cup? It isn't that, unfortunately. Was it that they were all managed by Kevin Keegan? It is not that either. Max, you were born in 2004. It's a little bit too early in your football timeline. It is indeed. But thankfully, this isn't going to be a round that will exclude people based on age. Here, although that said, this is number 2. But you might not know this person for football potentially. Because it is indeed Ali Dia's cousin, coming back round to the suggestion of being George Weah's. It's almost like you knew. Ladislav, our massive fan, was in there quickest. We are now looking for something that could potentially connect Laurent Charvet and George Weah. It's not that they all lost off at FA Cup finals. Played for 2 clubs that Anelka also played for. I think so which clubs are you thinking of, George? So we've got obscure Man City players. We've got Quadmo had that shirt. They've all played for national teams that never qualified for a World Cup. Laurent Charvet sadly is French, I believe, so that won't count, unfortunately. Could it be that they've all played for Chelsea and Man City? Could it be that they were all Chelsea loanees? Did they all become politicians or American citizens? Could we have Saul in there, or Zakaria, or Felix? Well, we can't have Saul, Zakaria, or Felix in there. But we can have a whole 4 points making its way to Artemisia. Because next up was going to be Scott Sinclair. Then it was going to be Nicholas Anelka, George. Because they have indeed played for Chelsea and Man City. Because I forgot to turn Only Connect on during the last stream, and it was before the FA Cup final. And so I definitely wanted to keep it in there. So where have we got your Artemisia? Artemisia 4, beautiful stuff. GG, sir. The applause coming in from Medical Car is very much deserved, as is the applause coming from Rick too. And whilst we're on this screen, I'm just going to start setting up the poll for the H-Goat, which means I need to choose 4 players. So who is the H-Goat? And they are going to be you, Ooh. Go on, tell me why it should be Tony Hibbert. Tell me why it should be Tony Hibbert. So let's see what we've got there. If Hibbert isn't selected, you're boycotting Artems. Yeah, that's a good argument. That's a good argument. Lester is himself. So RJ and Cromwell are supporting the Hibbert shout. Lester is just saying that he is himself. Tell me why it shouldn't be Tony Hibbert. Mainly because it's Tony Hibbert, unfortunately. He owns a trout fishing lake. I mean, why is he being so cruel to trout? Why doesn't he spread his cruelty to other fish? What is it specifically about the trout that he's decided to launch a one-man crusade against? Tony Hibbert might be the worst human that has ever existed. Disgusting. Disgusting behaviour. Right, I've got to write that all out again as well. Let's pop this here. I think you will be happy with at least 3 of the suggestions on there. And I think the 4th suggestion might well win. Isn't the burden of proof on you in the UK? You tell us why you shouldn't be on there. No, there's no burden of proof. I am the dictator here. This channel is a dictatorship, not a democracy, sadly. And therefore, the legal system that underpins the Republic of Mustermania, should be Mustermania, but I fluffed my words there, means that ultimately I get to choose. So we have a suggestion. We've got votes are running now, both over on YouTube and on Twitch. You've got 10 minutes to let us know who is the H-Goat. Is it Georgie Hadji as a fine player? Is it Eden Hazard as a fine player? Is it Hidakuti as a fine player? Or is it Jiz Hornkamp as the greatest of all time in terms of names? Who said it had to be for their footballing ability? I certainly didn't. So could it have been we should have gone for Yanis Hadji rather than Georgie Hadji? Obviously the better Hadji, because Georgie never played for Rangers. How much did Yanis end up playing for Rangers, to be fair, actually? So emphasis on the dick. Where's the dick? Yeah, I'm no comment. Dictators and socialism. Exactly. Mustermau. I am the Mustermau. I am 100% behind that. Who's Hidakuti? Hidakuti is one of the original greats of the game. When you're going back, see, I'm struggling with this. Was it 50s? Was he there? Was he alongside Puskás? He was certainly alongside Puskás. The great Hungary teams of yesteryear. A proper old shout. He was the original. Yeah, as Grizzly says, the original false 9 of the Magyars. They should have won that World Cup in '54 without a doubt. Without a doubt, they were such a phenomenal team. Is through highlights, and you've got to pass it through the lens that the game of football has changed a lot in the 70, 60, 80 years that have passed since. And so even when you watch highlights, it's difficult to really truly appreciate how much better players like Hidakuti and Puskás were compared to those chumps playing in the rest of Europe. I'm Irish in disguise. Well, Irish. I would love to be Irish. That would be wonderful. Wonderful indeed. How is Henri not in the poll? To be fair, Henri would have been the 4th one in there if it wasn't for Jiz Hornkamp. Right, into the next game. Farborg is back. So let's bring Farborg in. Let's restore Hereford to the starting lineup. And then into the game against Fremad. It's a home game, so maybe we should feel good. No, Henri, you can't hide. I mean, look, the handball taints his legacy. Like, can the Jiz and Jiz Hornkamp be included in the list if he is to win the vote? It just says Hornkamp on the back of his shirt. Hornkamp is his surname, but I think it's important to know that his first name is Jiz. It's just very, very important to know that he is Jiz. Right, and where's that camera? No. There we go. I got it right in the end there. The West German coach for the World Cup final completely changed his team tactics to specifically counter Hidakuti. Exactly. So Max is happy. I can't imagine how I feel if you would make a decision against Jizz. I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like everybody's decisions surrounding Jizz should go through Quadmo. As Mouse, it runs the channel, lays it back to Hereford. We're not in position. We weren't in position at all. Let's get ourselves. Don't follow ball. I'm a pro. I am a pro 100% of this. Rorschach is still fuming that Rod Fanny didn't win the F category. You see, this is proof that I've had a form for this prior. I am a fully grown adult who suggests that Rod Fanny and Jizz Hornkamp might be the greatest players of all time. Atlanta Savamasi wants Killian Hazard in there. Not even Thorgan as Svensson tries to take the ball. We are a little bit further out. There we go. That's where we want to be. We're kind of getting close to it. My cursor's in the wrong place. I do apologise as well. I do apologise. Stop making you do work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right, RJ will be legit mad if Hazard loses to a meme. I mean, he's currently got a very, very tender lead. It's Hazard on 4, Hadji on 3, Hornkamp on 3, Hidakuti on 1 over on Twitch. Over on YouTube, however, Hazard has 4 votes, Hadji has 2 votes. I feel like there's definitely an element of modern recency bias going on, for sure. Arthemsia says, Hidakuti better than Hazard, Hidakuti better than Henry, Hidakuti better than Puskás. I mean, I think it's always going to be very difficult to compare across eras. For me, Hadji is the one that I would naturally be drawn to, because that is part of my childhood, and there is something mythical and magical about Georgie Hadji that sometimes it's difficult to capture that magic when you're going back and looking at players that you didn't experience at the same time, or when you're experiencing players once you really have kind of an understanding of the game. So those players in that kind of late 80s, early to mid 90s era are always going to hold a special place in my heart, that's for sure. Rodmo says, look, why don't you all have as much jizz as you can take in one go? Well, there we go. I mean, how much Jizz Hornkamp can you take? So everyone wants to ask, have you managed to create any Mourinho-esque tactics in FM? You're a big fan of defensive solidity and quick transitions. Well, everyone, if you go check out the Durham save, that is very, very strongly built around the idea of defending deep. There's a much more Catenaccio inspired than Mourinho specifically, because Mourinho in his earlier days was a much more expressive and enterprising coach. It's only really in the latter years that he's become more defensive and pragmatic. Shall we push up to attacking? I think we shall. You will find that quite possibly an element of the Durham save will be more to your liking, or maybe even the Werder Bremen side, which, whilst it wasn't specifically about defensive solidity, was about covering distance, and therefore was very much about keeping the game in transition as much as possible. Or even not for FM26, for FM24, you could go check out the... it is FM26, I do apologise. You can check out the Jose Bordalas video, which again is about keeping the game in transition as much as you possibly can. This has been a god-awful game. A god-awful game so far, unfortunately. So Max, next time on a date, you're going to ask Crudmo beforehand if he approves of the actions regarding Jizz later on. I think you have to do it at the time. That's the problem. We left Sheriff Fatty out for the F goats, let's not forget, because Fanny is funnier, I'm afraid to say. Ethan Hazard winning the poll, this is unfair. There are too many young people on here. Eden Hazard, wow. He's retired, exactly. It's not about being young. He is a phenomenal player as well. Daza has a Sasa Lukic tattoo. I mean, that is a one hell of a tattoo to go for. Aguero and Cesc won ANF. Exactly. But that's the joy of things. You've got to understand that the times and the framing of football changes. You know, a lot of when I talk about the magic of players from the 90s especially, I also have to recognise that I view them a lot through a very rose-tinted lens as Rasmus Kierkegaard.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scored goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Kierkegaard! Boom! So did Jizz ever play for Thisted? He might well have done. I hope he does by the end of his career at least. We cocked up by not choosing Jimmy Hogan, who's basically the original Total Football that influenced them all. That is a very, very, very good shout. The Jose Bordalas one was exactly that. I think also there are probably a couple you probably be worth checking out. The FM24 one for Christian Streich as well. Obviously set a lot of the framework for Freiburg over the last 20 years. And Julian Schuster is very much a continuation of that approach, being that he is a one-club man himself. But there is, again, a reasonable amount of focus on the transition there. As we have the vote are in, I need to end the poll over here. I can tell you guys, with just one vote is Hidakuti. With 6 votes, it's Jizz Hornkamp. With 6 votes, it's Georgie Hadji. And that means with 9 votes in total, our alphabet goat is Thorgan Hazard. It's Eden Hazard. It is indeed Eden Hazard. I mean, there was a period of maybe like 2.5, 3 years where every single thing that Eden Hazard chose to do came off, and it was truly, truly sublime to watch. Truly sublime to watch. How was Hogan as a player? I thought he was very more notable as a coach than a footballer. But the reasons to be selected doesn't necessarily need to be for your footballing ability, but your impact. The greatest of all time. We had John Bosman as a suggestion at one point, which I kind of agreed with. I think he may have made the final 4 on his round there. We're going to bring on both wing backs as well, because that's the tired position. We just need to hold on. But here's Ayari in behind once again. Alfred Brun makes the save. We need to defend. Boateng's going to take the corner. Swings it in. Let's get it clear. Back out to Boateng again. Boateng spending time, takes the shot. Brun makes the save. And if we can get a clean sweep of wins today, that would be very, very nice. But the highlight hasn't ended. The highlight has now ended. There's been just 8 shots in the entirety of this game. We are a very, very boring team, but it's getting us results. So we can't complain, but is it now? Ball sent forward. Can we come away with it? Massard into Mouset. Forsgren plays it out to Lishoy. Lishoy's going to beat his man. Come on, Lishoy. Send it in. Swings it in to the far post. Olsen gets it clear, and that's going to be a throw-in. Are we going to get a highlight from the throw-in, or is that the whole highlight? That is the whole highlight. I'm a little surprised by that one, but let's see. We're going to bring on... No, we're not bringing on Farbo. We're bringing on Stojanovic. And we're bringing off Massard for Svensson. So that'll be Svensson playing a little bit further ahead. Forsgren drops into the pivot just for these last 5 minutes. Come on. Come on. We can do this. You make a great point about nostalgia, but have you considered that it means people won't share the same opinions? It's a fair point. That's a fair point. As I know, quite rightly, my opinion is the only one that matters. So, you know, if people disagree with me, it's because they're viewing things through rose-tinted glasses, and I am 100% objective 100% of the time. Ladislav Almasi is a fan of that. George wanted George Hadji because of a much better first name. That's fair. Yigit wants a recount. Rick's still a robbery that he was in a poll over the greatest player in Premier League history. I mean, Henry Henri is a fair shout, an absolutely fair shout. So do I use Bassy Boy Stadium mods, Jack? So I'm using this camera mod. Oh, Brun just gets there in time. This is getting nervy at the end for such a poor game. I use the camera mod, which is part of his staging mod, but I don't use the staging mod because I like to keep my game as lightweight as possible. So RJ, you couldn't make De Bruyne win. At least you did it with Eden. Next, it's going to be getting Vincent Kompany in there. So you thought the vote was purely playing quality. It's just the greatest of all time. That's why Jiz Hornkamp makes it in. He's the most he's the greatest of all time in terms of he's a fun name to say. It's tenuous. Very, very tenuous. Bro, why am I streaming now? You've got school to do. Go do school, Kekash. Lovely to see you, my dude. But just think of it the other way around. Soon it's going to be summer and you won't have to worry about school during the day whatsoever. But we also are going to be coming close to the end of the stream because after this game, Denmark goes on a 4-month break. So I did see that Leicester redeemed a round of top 7. We'll play a little bit of that. Then we will head on over, raid out. I'm hoping that Llama is about streaming. So that's who we will send our love to, I think, after this ends. And then we will head on over to the weekend, eh? What that means actually is that as soon as this stream ends, yes, I'm going to stand in a cold shower for the next few hours. Right, there we go. There's the win that we wanted. Beautiful stuff. We tell them it's a good win. What does that do for us in the league? In the league, that will. Are we stand alone in second? We're top. What the fuck? How about that, eh? Ask Victor is the greatest manager of all time. Right, anyone not sure how to deal with tactics, don't bother whatsoever. Just look at what your assistant manager wants to play and play that. How about that? Yeah, top. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's a perfect time. Bloody hell, we're going to win the fucking league. We are going to win the fucking league. Right, let's go on over to a round of top 7, shall we? Right, so if you guys haven't played top 7 before, the rules are very, very simple. In a few moments, down in that it says top 7 there. Underneath it, there's a thing that says the criteria will appear here. I will reveal a criteria. I need you to name the top 7 players. Whoever gets the first answer right gets 2 points. Whoever identifies the next player first gets 1 point for each one. Straightforward. You need to spell the name correctly. You can say their full name. You can do just their surname. If they have an accent in their name, you don't need to include it, but if you do, it will still pick it up either way. And today I am looking for the last 7 unique Europa League winning captains. And there we go. Artemsia has correctly named the top one, the main man, the only captain that matters. It is the spicy meatball, Sir Lord John McGinn, up in top place. And then a sensational bit of work from Ladisava Massive fan to pick up as Pilaqueta sneaking in 2019. And he only makes that spot because there is one person who's managed to win it twice. And we are very, 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 very close. You will need the... right, okay, let me give those points out. George has got the Jesus Navas points, I'm afraid to say. However, if you just wrote his surname, you would have got it. It didn't catch up because I didn't get the... I didn't write it out correctly without the accent, so I do apologise there. So that is points for George there, for Jesus Navas, who won it twice in 2020 and 2023. We've got suggestions. It's Hasabi in there. Griezmann's not in there. Savic, Gabby, Son, Romero. It was Christian Romero. There we go. Lestri was correct there. And the answers are now starting to come through. We've got Raul Albiol correctly guessed there. from Max. We've got Berat Jamitsi. So we've got just one remaining. Just one remaining who won it in 2022. Was it Darun? Was it Zappacosta? Was it Toloy? Was it Bohr? Was it Kostic? We've got the right team. We've got the right team. No, we haven't. Jamitsi was Atlanta. It's Sebastian Rode with Frankfurt. Max indeed. Beautiful stuff. No, Rode. Fuck. It was indeed Sebastian Rode. Sebastian Rode, Josh. Just everything. Rode. Beautiful stuff. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Rangers indeed. I wonder why I thought about this topic. Who knows? Who knows what could have on earth possessed me to go for that? Sir John McGinn. I've been relatively gracious all stream. Now I'm going to tongue the badge. No, I'm not going to tongue the badge. I did stick out my tongue for a second and then felt really weird and self-conscious about it. Right, this is where we're going to end the stream. YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys first. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. It's been lovely to see you. To Gaming Fishy, to Yigit, to Liam, to Hundo Tuan, to Rorschach. I know you've been around. To everyone, you were in a little bit earlier as well. Liam, was it you who was asking about the Massimos? No, it's Jack Kelly. To Jack as well. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And then over on Twitch, we're going to send our love out